Hey guys, hope everything's going well. I wanted to do a quick video on Texas and the fiasco it is right now and what we could do in the future to make sure we will be prepared for events like this, and they will happen in Texas, California, and throughout the United States in the coming years, and I'll explain why. But yeah, I was talking to my brother. He lives out near the Houston area. My other cousin, she lives around him as well, and they had trouble accessing water, and they live in good neighborhoods. And my brother said he had to go to a friend's house to take a shower. It's that crazy, and yeah, he had water on hand, yeah, he had food on hand, but it's a first world nation in Texas, but they were experiencing third world conditions. And in my opinion, there was a lot of hanky-panky going on. And if I were to explain what I think is going on, I could get my channel, have a strike on it. So I'll keep my thoughts to myself. I'm pretty sure you guys know what's going on with the hanky-panky behavior. This obviously should not have happened. And the blame could go all around to both parties. But the purpose of the video is what we can do in the future, to prepare for events like this. And I'm confident they will happen. And the reason why they will happen is we're moving away from coal. We're moving away from sources of energy that made America have cheap utility bills. And if you look at where we're going to windmills, we're going to other sources of solar that all the greenies love. Well, there's no such thing as a free lunch when you're going to this type of system. And what I'm afraid of is with the closing of some of these nuclear power plants, other sources of energy, which will happen in the coming years. According to one of my friends who is actually a PhD in physics, he told me because of the closure of power that we've used in the past, like nuclear power of coal, this will create a situation like Texas throughout the United States. And if those that remember the Enron situation, Enron used to purposely close down power to citizens of the state of California or residents of the state of California. And there were rolling blackouts in the summer when it's freaking hot as hell. Your air conditioning turned off. And, some people say that we're in the age of cooling. And if we're in the age of cooling right now, and we're going back to Texas and the South, the southern states are not prepared for this type of weather. There are no vehicles that spray salt throughout the streets. That's one of the reasons why they have low taxes, because they don't have to spend on that infrastructure. Over here, in the blue states like Illinois, New York, New Jersey, they invest a lot of money. Even though they have money problems, they have to invest in these equipments, because if they don't, the whole city shuts down, and it's home to millions of people. So, we're used to driving in, 6 inches of snow. And it's not as dangerous as in the South because, they take care of the streets. But still, your car can slide. I've had that. Everyone probably has had their car slide if you live up here in the north. But what am I getting at, though? All right. Some people may be saying that, okay, with the climate apparently cooling over time, we will have a situation where southern economies will have a lot of trouble during the winter times. They're going to have more experiences like this, and especially Texas. And Texas will be dependent on other states because of legislation and executive orders that are being signed. So what does this all mean? It means that rolling blackouts are a near certainty. And it is very important for all of us to be prepared to not have power for a few days. Few days, we could probably get by, but it could sometimes be a week, week and a half, 2 weeks in the coming future if this type of situation happens. And we all can agree, whether you're on the left or right or in the middle, the society is going in the wrong direction. And if this trend continues, then expect more situations like Texas. Expect the United States to experience what the third world has experienced throughout the last 50 to the last 75 years. And my family has experienced that, I remember going to India, blackouts were a normal thing, but that was like over 20 years ago when I was a kid. And, in the summertime, you may have a power outage for a day or two, We're used to that kind of stuff, but it's going to be longer. And if you are not used to the cold, like those in the south, it's going to be a really rough ride. Or in the north, we're used to the cold. So what does this mean? It means that you have to prepare. You have to prepare for tough times ahead. So what does that mean? It means that you need to have ample amount of food on hand. You don't go to the store right before, all this stuff happens, because the stores are going to be cleaned out like they were in Texas. You need to have ample amount of water. And one of my buddies, he's not crazy, by the way. He's not a gloom, doom, guy. But he told me, since he works in this industry, since he has a PhD in physics, he says it's important to get a generator if you can afford it. And that's where we're going to go, Blackouts are going to happen. And we have to be prepared for that. Just because we collect gold and silver, and I collect cards, and some Funko Pops, like right behind me, that's not going to save you during a crisis, right? I'm all about alternative assets, but that stuff is not going to help you during a time where you can't access, you can't go to the grocery store because their lights aren't turning on. So, it's very important to make sure you are prepared. And I also remember back in college, we were researching about water rights, and there will be potential conflict over water because of how, some states have these environmental laws. It's hard for them to acquire ample amount of water. And you've seen India and China fight over water. And California is going to have problems, fighting over water with, some of these other states in the Southwest and, states above that. If you look at Arizona, Nevada, dry states. I would not want to live in Arizona. I would not want to live in Nevada. I would not want to live in California. California will have more blackout problems. They will have more problems with wildfires because of environmental laws. And they're also going to have a battle in the coming years over water rights. So that's something else to look out for. I'm sure, you go to the grocery store, you could get water and all that stuff. But, just think about that, Think about investing in a, water filter, expensive water filter. I forgot the name. It's maybe Barkey. I have to research it. But, this is something that all of us have to think about. It's not going to happen tomorrow. I mean, Texas is still having issues, but, just be aware of this. Does it mean that you live your life in fear? No. It just means that you got to prepare for these things, And other things is, with this whole craziness going on, you should expect what the third world experiences at times. There may be times where you're going to have cold water, showers. So, you're taking a shower, just make sure instead of taking a hot shower, every day take a colder and colder shower. So maybe one day you take it for 30 seconds and then gradually move up where you could take a shower and it's all cold and your body will get used to it. No, there's this guy, Wim Hof, the Wim Hof method. This guy, old guy, he's able to go up Mount Everest in his shorts because he's trained his body to the cold. So survival skills will be very important in the years to come. You gotta make sure you have a positive attitude going through this craziness. I've shut down excuse me, my Facebook account, or pretty much deactivated it because of all the negativity from it. And having a clear, positive mind will get you through this. I'm also getting into more hobbies because, the media's lost its mind. So stay away from that. Cut down on your booze. Cut down on smoking. Have a clear mind. Just be prepared, though. That's all. Let me know what your thoughts. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.